Imagine every dream you've ever had, monumental success, that freedom others envy, locked away in a pitch-black room. The door is just a crack ajar, only a few centimeters. You sense something breathing in that darkness, a predator with your future in its grasp. Every time you tell yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow," that predator feasts. With every excuse, every postponed plan, it grows stronger. You tell yourself you're safe, no one sees the rot inside, but you're wrong. This isn't a passing phase, a temporary stumble. It's a tumor you've been nurturing. Your laziness is not innocent. It's a silent killer stalking the corners of your mind while you dream of imaginary victories. Your body may rest, but your conscience knows the truth. You feel a prick of discomfort, perhaps a chill in your spine, because deep down you know you're running away. You've built an altar of excuses so sophisticated it even sounds logical. "I need more clarity," you say. "Tomorrow will be different." These are just elegant clothes for a fear so vulgar it would embarrass you to see it naked. The only real doubt is the childish panic of making mistakes, of shattering the exceptional image of yourself you've so carefully invented. Do you feel your stomach tighten as you hear this? That jolt of fear and guilt is proof of something. You're still alive under all that complacency. That creeping dread is the first seed of change if you're brave enough to nurture it. But don't relax, you haven't defeated the creature yet. If you simply turn off this video and walk away, it will return tonight to sit in the corner of your bed. And when it stares at you with contempt, you will know with chilling certainty, the enemy isn't outside. The enemy is you. Here is the brutal truth. Your obstacles are self-inflicted. The only thing holding you back is the story you tell yourself. Your ambition exists, but you've been setting traps of self-deception. You are your own jailer, and you hold the key. You think you're a victim of laziness, but in reality, laziness is the mask your fear wears. You think you're cautious, waiting for the perfect moment, but that moment is a myth. Your so-called willpower is nothing but a domesticated dog on a leash. It only barks when you tell it to, and you've been whispering later, later for far too long. If you want to burst that door open, you must first acknowledge this radical idea. The door is locked from the inside. You are the one who keeps it closed. The excuses, the procrastination, the perfectionism, they're not chance or misfortune, they are choices. Admit it, you prefer the fantasy of what you could be over the brutal discomfort of doing something real. You'd rather live a beautiful lie than a harsh truth. But the longer you live that way, the more you feed the monster waiting on the other side. And the price you pay is your own respect for yourself. Every time you say, "Not today," something inside you dies. Not muscle, not a bit of energy, but a deeper part, your self-respect. Tell me the truth, when was the last time you seized a moment? How often do you lie on the couch telling yourself tomorrow until tomorrow turns into next week, next month, next year? Each postponement is a feast for your fears. Procrastination isn't passive, it's active poisoning. It's a predator licking its jaws while you rest, hiding your ambition in darkness. Procrastination is nothing mystical. It's a habit of feeding that thing in the room. You believe, "I still have time," and that lie is a sweet poison. Circumstances will never be perfect. Waiting for circumstances to align like Swiss watches is a trap. There is no cosmic signal that will tell you now. If you wait for the exact right conditions, you will wait forever. In reality, the door to your dreams closes a little more every day you do nothing. Consider this, the world's most successful people didn't wait for perfect timing. They moved in the face of uncertainty, in chaos, even amid fear. Each day they felt uncertainty in their bones, yet they acted anyway. Those actions, no matter how clumsy at first, chipped away at their obstacles. Meanwhile, you sit and say, "Someday I'll act when everything is set." Understand this, that day will never come. The only way out is to move in spite of your doubts. You've convinced yourself you need clarity. You crave a master plan, an impeccable moment. But that's just the old fear in a sharper suit. Perfectionism is a myth that offers endless excuses. You've constructed it so well it sounds logical. "I want to understand everything first. It's better not to rush." Behind those words is a scream, "I'm scared to fail." Think about it. If you waited until you had all the answers, you would never start anything. Imagine if every artist said, "I need one more class before picking up a brush," or every writer said, "I'll only write once I know exactly what will happen." Nothing would ever be created. Yet the first drafts of the greatest works are embarrassing. Even Einstein's notebooks are filled with crossouts and errors. Real growth comes from accepting that your first attempts will be pathetically imperfect. The trap of perfectionism is nearly perfect. It lets you believe you're special without having to prove it. As long as you chase the flawless plan, you never have to expose yourself to criticism. You never have to see your own mediocrity. You never have to admit the truth that learning happens by stumbling. Other people might fumble and fall, but you stand in the sanctuary of your thoughts, sure that your intelligence alone will keep you safe. But intelligence without action is empty brilliance. It's just a shiny cage. Every second you spend polishing your plan is a second your ambition rots. You stroke potential like a precious jewel you'll someday wear, but without action that jewel is worthless. You're locked in a cage of your own making. The mind that only feeds on its own clarity becomes a tomb. Eventually, even your potential becomes a lie you tell yourself to feel better about doing nothing. Have you ever noticed that all this perfectionism, all this careful planning is really about one thing, your ego? Behind the fancy words and thought armor, you're terrified. Terrified that when you act, everyone will see you for who you really are, just another imperfect human being. You've built a theater in your mind. On its stage, you play the role of the promising genius to an audience of invisible admirers. But here's the cruel irony, that audience isn't there. Most people are too busy chasing their own dreams to notice yours. You sit frozen, telling yourself you must preserve your image because you believe a single public misstep will shatter it. Yet everything people think they know about you is built on silence and assumption. They see an image, an in-progress statue of who you might become because you've shown them nothing else. This is idolatry of your own image. Your need to be admired has become the heaviest chain you carry. You don't work for yourself or your dreams, you work for applause that doesn't exist. You are in love with the idea of being great, more than the messy process of actually becoming great, so you freeze. You tell yourself it's prudent or responsible to wait, but in truth it's vanity. You'd rather be a could-have-been, endlessly praised in whispers than a try-and-fail reality. Every day you protect that image, you bury another part of yourself. Each night you lie in bed satisfied you could be great if you wanted to, but tomorrow you promise to start. And the ghosts of those inaction dreams pile up. Eventually, the hunger for real respect, the kind you earn from action, will leave you empty. When that day comes, you will face only the truth of what you did or didn't do. Now, be honest with yourself for a moment. You've probably been thinking objections while listening. But life is complicated, you say in your head. I have responsibilities, bills, a lack of resources. Yes, reality can be harsh, but those things are part of your life, not signs of your uniqueness. Many people have started from worse and still took steps forward. The question isn't how much you have, but how you use what you do have. Are you truly giving it all or just settling? Perhaps you worry. What if I try and I fail in front of people? They'll laugh at me. But consider, those people aren't actually sitting in judgment. You assume a jury of silent critics, but they're too wrapped up in their own fears to care about yours. And even if someone does hear about your failure, do you think they'll remember it next year? Meanwhile, if you do nothing, your regret will remember this moment forever. Maybe you claim, I don't know where to start. Fine, the map isn't in your head, it's in the steps. Action clears the fog. Clarity comes from confrontation, not contemplation. You want to understand the path fully before you walk it, but the only way to understand is to feel each step. As the philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre hinted, we are condemned to be free. There's no excuse that truly nullifies your freedom to act. You might stumble, you might veer off course, but every attempt teaches you something. The real failure is never making the attempt at all. Tell yourself these truths now because your mind will try to lull you back to sleep. That inner voice, the echo of every doubt, every childhood taunt, every pain you've ever felt, it's very good at coming up with reasons. It will whisper, tomorrow, later, not today. Don't let that voice deceive you. It's not on your side, it's the sum of all who gave up before. You have to drown out that chorus with your own resolve. This struggle isn't new. Philosophers and sages through time have recognized the chasm between thought and action. Consider Plato's allegory of the cave. Prisoners see only shadows and believe them real, refusing to leave the comfort of ignorance. You have built a similar cave. The shadows on the wall are all your potential achievements. You talk about them, you imagine them, and you convince yourself they're real. But as long as you refuse to step into the light of doing, they remain mere projections. Or think of your ambition as a flame. Ambition without action is a candle with plenty of oxygen but no wax to burn. It flickers, it smells of smoke and ash, but it doesn't grow. Every idea that shakes your chest but never escapes your notebook or mouth is a small funeral. It dies unbaptized in the silence of your inaction. In Marcus Aurelius' terms, we are meant to act according to our nature. Human nature is to reason and do. Rational thought is wasted if not applied. Each moment you refuse to move is a moment of your life you can never reclaim. Even the myth of Sisyphus tells us something vital. The punishment is eternal, but so is the act of pushing. Imagine if Sisyphus said, I'll only push when the rocks move themselves. He'd be dead of old age before the first stone budged. Your life is similar. Push the rock of your goals now, and even if you fall short 100 times, each try moves the rock a little. But if you never even try, that rock will bury you. It's a terrible thought, but it's more terrible if you ignore it. Pause for a moment and imagine yourself at the end of your life, looking back. What memories will haunt you? Not the failures you tried and learned from, those fade away. It's the chances you never took that poison the soul. All those ideas, projects, and dreams stored on the shelf, dust gathering over them, they'll scream in your mind like restless spirits. Your biography, when it's written, will list not only your accomplishments, but also the death dates of dreams that never even lived. Isn't that a chilling picture? An inventory of everything you imagined, but no evidence that you ever realized any of it. A ledger of perfect plans and empty days. You could die tomorrow with a flawless resume of what you planned to do, but no proof of what you did. But here's the liberating choice. Right now, you can decide to change that story. You can choose whether your life will be a list of broken promises or a testament to courage. Even if your legs shake and your voice trembles, take one step forward. Those shaky steps, the little clumsy footprints, are far more honorable than a life spent standing still. In the end, only those real footprints, left out in the mud and dust, will mean anything. No one is coming to save you. No one will drag you out of the quagmire of your own excuses. When this is all over, when you have run out of time and strength, you won't be remembered for your some days. You'll be remembered, if at all, for that one day you finally decided to move. I don't want you to leave here thinking you can't. The truth is, the problem was never your potential. It never is. The problem was the cowardice you were taught to call prudence, the passivity you confused with reflection, the laziness you disguised as perfectionism. Today, as brutal as this moment feels, you have the chance to betray them. You have lied to yourself enough. It's time to stop. Ask yourself, do I live for the sake of others' applause, or will I start living for myself? Will I protect this fragile image of perfection, or will I risk looking foolish to feel real growth? Remember, most admiration you think you've earned is built on guesses, not achievements. True self-respect is forged in the quiet moments no one sees. So decide. Will you continue living to impress, or will you begin to do something, anything, that earns your own respect? If anything here has pierced you, that pain is a gift. It's the price of finally being alive, of standing on the edge of something that truly matters. Let it stay with you. Tonight, when you're alone without distractions, ask yourself, what will I do with the rest of my life now that I've heard this truth? Let this moment be the first act of your revolution. Tell yourself clearly, I will not be a spectator of my own ruin. Let those words echo in your mind, not because the world demanded it, but because you demand it of yourself. There is a voice in you saying tomorrow, but you know where that leads. Turn off the distraction, breathe, and face yourself. Understand. Indeed, the only validation you truly need is your own. Every time you act despite fear, every time you create when it's easier to watch, you reclaim a piece of yourself that was lost to vanity. Fear is not a stop sign, it's the frontier of what matters. If you feel it rising now, smile. You're finally in the right place. Beyond that fear lies the life you want. Conquer it step by step. Your silence must never become the cemetery of your ambition. Speak up with action instead. The dark room is still there, the door still ajar. This time, do not look away, open it. The predator will be waiting, but you will be ready. Your enemy's fear, perfectionism, the need for validation can be defeated. It won't be easy and it will be uncomfortable. But the moment you step forward, the monster begins to starve. You decide if it wins or if you do. Make that choice now.